Hey y'all, it's Leah. I am back with another couple of techniques that we can use to transform our digitals when we are working with a digital kit. So today we're going to be working on shimmer, so ways to add different kinds of shimmer. So we're going to do three different techniques. The first is using Wink of Stella. So these are little it's kind of like a glitter water pen. So it's got, I don't know if you can really see the shimmer on there, but it's just got some ink, some glitter ink in it. This is a clear one. I also have it in gold and black, and I think it comes in a couple of other colors as well. And it's just something that you can kind of paint on wherever you want to add a little bit of shimmer. I use it a lot on flowers. So in this case, I have it trying to get that shine to go just about right. I have it on some of the blue flowers. I have it in the center of the pink flowers, the centers of the blue ones. And so I'm just going to show you real quick how easy it is to use that. So I'm going to do the butterflies on this one. You don't even have to squeeze really after the first time once you get it kind of going, and you're just going to sort of brush it on wherever you want it. You can use it all over an image. You can use it just to highlight little bits. Sometimes on bigger butterflies, I'll just do it if the wings have like really pronounced veining. I will just sort of do like a swoosh around that, and then hopefully you can see a little bit of that shimmer that it gives to it. So it's subtle, but it does, when you're flipping through a journal, it does give you that little bit of sparkle that is really pretty to see. So that is one technique. The next is just adding a little bit of this. This was a kind of the latest in the Distress Inks series. This is the Distress Spritz, and so it's a little bit different than the Distress Oxide. It doesn't react, or it reacts differently than the other ones do, like with water and stuff, but it just adds a little more shine, gives you a wider coverage, and so you just kind of play around. I keep kind of going back between that and like the Distress mica sprays and the and stains, and there's a couple of different ones, and I'm still learning kind of what the differences are and kind of playing around with it. But I'm just going to grab my splat box real quick to give this a little bit of splatter so you can kind of see what that looks like. These do have like a little ball bearing in the bottom, so you do want to give it a good shake, and I should have shaken that a little bit more before I got on here. This is going to be like a little coin envelope, and so I just want to give it a little, there we go. Now I'm getting my little paint can clacking going. And so try to do these from a little high up, but I like, you can kind of get more of like a dribble with these, I've found, than you can with the sprays. And so you get more of like the droplets. And so I kind of like that look. But it definitely will have, once it dries, it will have some shimmer on it. And so that looks really pretty. Just like, you know, this one does, how it's got that shimmer all over. So one other way to do that, move this out of the way. The last way that we can add some shimmer is by embossing, and by doing some powder embossing. And so there are kind of three different ways that I emboss things. So sometimes I like to emboss a full piece. So I will take a piece like this, and I'll get my little Versamark stamp pad, and I just kind of, this is just an embossing pad. So it's got kind of like, it's like a glue ink sort of. And so I just kind of press it on there. And then I'm just using clear embossing powder. And just get that all over. Set that out of the way for a second, and then we'll give this a quick let. I'll come back when that is done. Okay, so that is completely heat embossed. And so we just run the heat gun over it for a minute or so, and that gives it that kind of clear coating on there. And so there are other ways that you can emboss. So there's also these embossing pens. So if you just want to do certain parts of an image, so in this case I'm just gonna do the dragonfly, and I'm gonna do just parts of it. I'm gonna do like the body part and just sort of going out into the veins a little bit. So just to sort of highlight it. So I'm just kind of coloring. It's basically just putting that embossing ink, kind of glue, something for the powder to adhere to. And maybe I'll do, yeah, I think I'll do like these little dots just to have a little something on the wings. And so again, kind of put that in your little tray, pour that all over, and I'll heat that in just a second while I show you the last way to do it, and that is with stamping. So if you want to have an image that you are going to stamp onto a you know, a piece, you can use, if you want, you can use the Versamark and just stamp it clear on there. But if you want color, but you want to use clear embossing powder, so like you can do any ink color that you have. I have found these VersaFine Clair inks. These are my favorite inks. They give super crisp images, and they also stay wet long enough for you to emboss. And so you kind of get a 2-for-1 deal in that you're not just getting the ink, but you're kind of getting, you're being able to emboss with it too, instead of doing that 2-step process kind of thing. And it'll come out when you use the clear. See how nice that image is. And then I am just going to sprinkle that with some embossing powder. And then I will dry these real quick and be right back. Okay, so now we have our bird, and you can see he's got some dimension to him now. Got a little shimmer to him. And then our dragonfly looks really pretty, just kind of highlighting that little bit, and then these little bits on the sides, on the wings. So it just gives a little bit of shimmer, a little bit of dimension. So again, we went over Wink of Stella, shimmer spray, and embossing powder. Next time we are going to talk about texture. So be sure to tune in for that. Thanks for watching. Bye, y'all.